is going to be a review on the 5 Pawns sampler pack. The packaging that you get should look something like this. It's about the size of a small, like, shaving cream container, I guess. Like a travel size one. And then you get your bubble wrap and the little vials inside. You're going to get 5 different flavors, all of which are 3 milliliters. They come in glass droppers with a dropper, like a glass dropper top or whatever. When opening these for the first time, be careful because mine, for whatever reason, got stuck to the top of the glass and it actually broke one of them. And I'm guessing it's because this sat a while. This was made on 12/1 of 13, and I got this like maybe a week or so ago, so we're talking like 2.5 months that it's been sitting. So I'm guessing the juice got like on the top of the bottle and just kind of like had like a sticky glue type effect or whatever, because once I broke the seal or whatever you want to call it, it hasn't done it since. So but just be careful when you're first opening it, because it does have the potential to break, and then you're out with, you know, without a dropper for that bottle. I'm not going to show you each one of what these look like because they all look the same, just with different writing on it of, you know, as to what the flavor is and all that. But that's what it looks like. The bottles and the packaging are nice, I will say that. As far as everything else, just quickly, I don't care for it. Like, I don't really like any of the flavors enough to purchase a full size or even keep, you know, this, because I'm actually sending this off to somebody else. Just because, to be honest, and this is just the effect it has on me, I don't know what it is, but it actually makes me a little bit nauseous. I've never really had this effect before, but there are a couple of other people on the e-cig forum that had a similar reaction. I don't know if it's an ingredient in there, if it's the base they use, not really sure, but I am very sensitive to pretty much everything, so I don't in any way mean that it's a bad product or anything like that, or if it's not quality. It's just something in it is reacting badly to me. Like, it was giving me a headache and it was making me really nauseous, and I don't know, I just didn't care for it. So I'm going to go over the flavors basically in order of best, in my opinion, to worst, which, again, I don't really like any of these. Like, I wouldn't purchase a full size or anything like that. But of the 5, the best, in my opinion, which is ironic because I really didn't think I would like it the best, is the Absolute Pin. It's P-I-N. I'm guessing that's Pin. But it's supposed to be a combination of Irish cream, cinnamon spice, caramel with subtle absinthe undertones. And absinthe, if you don't know what it is, it's an alcoholic beverage that tastes kind of like anise or black licorice. If you've ever had Jägermeister, it tastes similar to that, I guess. But as far as subtle goes, I don't really think there's such thing as subtle absinthe, because absinthe is pretty potent. It's very strong. It's a very strong flavor. So out of all the different flavors in the liquid, that's what I pick up on the most. And from what I've, you know, read or watched, that's what other people pick up the most as well. You can detect a little bit of other flavors into it, so it's not like a straight anise or whatever. Like, I do detect the cinnamon a little bit and the Irish cream very, very faintly, but out of all of it, I do pick up on the absinthe the most. And mind you, I don't like black licorice, but for whatever reason, absinthe in, you know, e-liquids, if it's done right, I actually do enjoy it. And every now and then, I'll have like a weird craving for a black, like a Good and Plenty or whatever, but only like a couple. Like, it's one of those things I can only have in very small doses every now and then. So that one is okay. And then next one down would have to be Bowden's Mate, which is a crisp mint with subtle chocolate undertones and French vanilla. Again, I get the mint the most. It's a pretty strong mint. It does have a cooling effect. I wouldn't say it's menthol necessarily, but it is a cooling sensation. And I get a very, very slight cocoa accent to it. But I wouldn't even say it's chocolate. It's more of a cocoa, like a unsweetened cocoa, which isn't bad or anything. It's just, that's what I'm picking up. And I don't get any of the French vanilla, so that's just me. The next one, which I thought I would like a lot more than I did, and I was kind of disappointed I didn't, but it's the Grandmaster, which is peanut butter with banana cream and caramel. I like peanut butter, and I like peanut butter in vapes, but for whatever reason I don't like this. And I think it might be either the banana cream or the caramel, but I don't like it. I do get the peanut butter taste, but it's like a very synthetic, like the whole thing just tastes very synthetic to me. I don't know. But you do taste a little bit of the banana, a little bit of the caramel, but for me, the whole thing together, I don't care for it. And then the last two are my least favorite, and like I just did not like them at all. And the next one I guess would have to be Gambit, which is the apple with savory pie crust and caramel, topped with French vanilla and unsweetened whipped cream. Again, I'm only getting, personally, a very faint apple flavor and a little bit of caramel. I don't get any French vanilla or whipped cream, not even a crust. Like, it could be that I got a bad batch, it could be that the batch sat too long, I'm not really sure, but personally, I don't think I would like the flavor anyway, so I'm not going to bother trying to contact them or anything like that, because I don't think it would matter, but it's just something to keep in mind, I guess. But personally, I'm not getting anything but a very light apple flavor with caramel. And then the last one, and my least favorite, is Queenside, which is a blood orange with creamy French vanilla. And a lot of people because I've watched a lot of reviews and everything, and a lot of people get a creamsicle type flavor. And I do agree with that, except it's not exact, because creamsicles normally are just regular orange and some kind of cream, whereas this is a blood orange. And if you've ever had a blood orange, like the actual fruit, it tastes very different than a regular orange. It's a little bit more bitter and not as sweet as a regular orange would be. So if you could imagine a creamsicle, but take out the orange and replace it with a blood orange. And that's pretty much what it tastes like. And I guess the French vanilla does change it a little bit too, because when you're eating a creamsicle, it's just cream. It's not really a French vanilla, at least not the ones I've tried. And I don't know, I don't care for the combination, but if you do like blood orange and French vanilla, you might like it. I personally don't, but that's just me. And it's a pretty subtle flavor as well. Like, out of all the flavors, the strongest ones, in my opinion, are Absolute Pine or Pin or whatever, and Bowden's Mate, which is the absinthe one and the mint one. Which, I mean, mint and absinthe are pretty strong flavors, so it kind of makes sense as to why those would stand out more. And then down the line, it would have to be Grandmaster, then Gambit, and then Queenside. They're all pretty subtle. So if you're looking for something to try, these were $23.50, and that came with the 5 bottles, 3 milliliters each. Shipping was free, so that's something to keep in mind too, because that is a factor. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but you do get the little sheet which has the flavors on it and their little story. And, you know, it's a nice presentation. They send it really quickly. I got it within a couple days of ordering it, so that's nice. And outside of the packaging issue of me removing the lid, I mean, everything else was intact and, you know, well presented. I just think the dropper bottle thing is, I think they should probably look into a different type of topper, because it really shouldn't be sticking to the glass like that. Because it only happened to a couple of them, it wasn't all of them, so I know it wasn't like a feature that should have been there, basically. And you could see some of the rubber still on the glass from when you were moving it. I don't know. Neither here nor there. I didn't really care for these particular flavors. I think it's something in their base that they use, or I don't know if there's like any particular flavor that's in all of them except maybe French vanilla. So maybe that's what's bothering me, but I got nauseous, I got a headache, and there were a couple people on the e-cig forum that did as well, so I know I'm not completely crazy, But overall, people don't have that reaction, so it's probably just, you know, my weird body. Like, I have issues with a lot of things, so, you know, don't take too much into that, but that's just my personal opinion. I do have some other liquids coming up. I do have Mountain Baker too, but I'm trying to let the one flavor steep a little bit more before I get into it, because I want to see if it develops or whatever. And then I have Alice and Vapeland coming. It's taking forever, but that's just how they are. And then I have some Illusion and Vapor Chef coming. So just keep watching for that, or stay tuned, or keep an eye out basically for those reviews. They'll be coming soon.